That was just a shooting.
You live on that one, man.
Can you hear me?
I'm getting around saying that,
Hey,
Hey, and we're back. We
our
back.
apologies.
Goodness gracious. We back.
We're back.
You
Yeah.
did make sure we back.
Okay, let's see.
trying to make sure.
Yeah,
I'm trying to make sure right
We
now.
on.
I'm trying to back.
Oh, yeah.
Come back. Come on back.
We live. Let's get to it.
We gotta apologize. I take a hit on this one. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't you, Mick. It wasn't you. We're trying to do something extra and try to get some stuff in because we be having a process and we need the process to be right. That's why it's important that you have these processes.
Yes, sir.
So, but we do appreciate everybody who be rocking with us. I know sometimes you can't hear the audio. Sometimes we look a little blue, but you know, we're doing our best to be able to show you and just give you a positive platform, but give you some quality content at that. So, you know, just be thankful that you bear with us. You know, we're sorry that we didn't get Brother Robert's history segment in place. You know, what we'll do, we have to bring that back.
Right.
You never know. Depending on how our setup is, we might need to get back in today. But welcome back. And we do have our special guest because, you know, we do have this platform. We are talking about candidacy in the Flint area and leadership and all those other dynamics that make a city operate. So with us today, we have our special guest who makes some noise, Steve Barber. What's up, brother?
What's going on, guys? Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You good?
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Awesome, man.
Good.
So, man, tell us, man, you know, you're up here on the set. You bearing with us, man, you know.
Yeah. Technically, hey, man, I'm a teacher by day, so, you know, technical difficulties for the last year and a half are very frequent and often occurring. So, technology does this thing too.
Man,
We'll work through it.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you keep me coming up, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. My thing is really reaching the people, and as a writing candidate, I need to make sure my face is in front of all the people that I can get in front of, and so I appreciate you guys having the platform and invite me on and to discuss a few things. And my platform is about the people, so that's where I'm coming from. I'm looking to the people to see what they want in their ward, in their city. Far too long, as you guys have discussed prior in the show, too many side agendas and personal agendas on the table in disguise, and so it's enough of that. I mean, Flint's on the verge of losing its voice in general. I mean, we're on the verge of bankruptcy. We don't have a lot of money. We're stretched thin, and so it's important to have a council that holds, first of all, that exercises their legislative duties in full, has the follow through and the commitment to see everything through. You have to be on top of things. This garbage contract, city council should have been talking and subpoenaing and doing all the stuff that they are within their rights to do months ago.
Right.
You know, and that's, you know, everybody asks me, well, what's a council person? To me, I explained it to them. I said, it's a Congress at the city level. We check the mayor, the administration, and make sure that, you know, they're functioning properly and doing their due diligence. To have one option at the last minute before the contract, that's ridiculous. You know, that's ridiculous. And so, as much as the blame has been placed on city,
Geeks, they try to reach out to us.
That's what it is.
Hey, they try to reach out
We
to
hear
us.
you, we hear you. Hey, come back after the show.
You know what they say? I see the
Come
video.
back after
This
the show.
off the top. I see the video. One of the
Yeah.
scientists from NASA they said that they got to see they said one of the ships on the spaceships landed. And people came, and somebody came off, and the person interview was like, "What they look like?" And he said, "They was black."
Just like that.
Yeah,
I'm this. This was a NASA scientist.
yeah.
Hey, y'all ever feel like
A white NASA
like-
scientist. He
Yeah,
don't
feel like
read these questions. Everybody.
you just want to
I'm
get
telling you, you watch Ancient Aliens.
Yeah,
I've heard that like several times on
you
there.
say black.
I'm just saying.
Just plug
Another
on the
show.
show. This show.
Another show. We know let's do this
Let's get
for
back
another
to-
show.
let's get back to
Okay.
Steve Austin.
Okay.
Nice boy.
Nice boy.
Yeah, Black City X-Files going on.
Yeah.
So,
Because we are.
This is a meme, man.
Yeah.
I tried to watch that good show, but I just didn't watch it.
Not that show. I'm gonna show you this video. This was a NASA. This is a real NASA.
Aliens, like you
No, I mean, this
can't.
is a NASA
I'm
scientist.
talking about.
I was like, wait,
What
what?
y'all on? I'm on.
No. I'm like, no,
I'm turning left, y'all on the right side.
That's to you, Steve.
All right. I don't.
We go hit. This is the question. This is a question I'm gonna ask. This Flint being majority African American, majority color.
Okay.
How do you, Steve? How do you push? Because what we need now, we pushing this black agenda because we done been pushed on and stepped on too long, and we just we putting the plan out there. This the agenda. This how we see how it should go. This how we expect them to go. If you ain't rolling, either get out the way, or you get stepped
rolled
out.
over.
So we want to know how would you push that if you was to be nice city council?
So I think everything has compromise. And so I understand that history has long telling and oppressed blacks in the community, the African American culture in general. And it's important to have that equity and that inclusion. Everybody's got to have a seat at the table during all the discussions. And I think that's really important. And I mean, it's tough to make everybody happy on any single subject. You're not going to. And so I think the community needs to listen and hear what's manageable, what really can be attained short-term, long-term, and develop the plan from there. I personally I'm not privy to the full agenda per se, but at the end of the day, it should be expressed, it should be brought to the table, and everybody should have a say in the matter.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say this too, because it's very important, and I gotta stand on that too, man. But this has been disenfranchised, disinvestment for a long time, and so when we talk about our counterparts, just like even with the Black Lives Matter movement, right? We need y'all to be vocal and saying, not even being passive, and knowing the issue there, but do just severely enough to do something about it. Now, we need those transformers, right? And, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we be looking for. And that's a charge to actually say, okay, when you look at this, because even in the Ninth Ward, right, what you're running for, you got spots like the Regencies, you got spots.
It's a rough area. So you got your rough area.
Right? So you gotta
You
go.
100%.
And they don't want to deal with none of that same stuff that they've been dealing with. That's what's been going on, because even it's our job to activate them. It's our job to make sure that they're voting. So you got 200-300 people out there ready to go. So we want to make sure that they understand that they at the table too, and they got somebody that's gonna represent them.
And I think part of that is communication. I think this city lacks transparency and communication at all levels. I mean, if you look at just, I log into the city website, there's nothing on the calendar for years. And so not even standard meetings. Yeah, it's on a piece of paper that says, when these meetings will be, but like, there's no communication. Yesterday's meeting for the garbage contract, posted on the front of City Hall. That's the only communication that was out.
Yeah,
So it's like, people have to be aware that the table is that people are even coming to a table and to have those discussions. And I mean, I grew up in the north, or in the 9th Ward, and the needs, I mean, I don't spend much time at Regency's or even Kings Lane, or Stonegate when it was Stonegate. But yes, those areas are desperately needing attention and resources. There is the South Side strategic plan. They probably don't even know about that. They probably don't even know what's involved with that. We've had multiple meetings about how to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on the south side of Flint to make the south side of Flint better. And there's hands full of people that show up.
There's a South Side strategic plan.
Right, William Job, just
And
for
that,
Yeah.
how long has that been a thing?
That was part of the city master plan. Give me a second.
They do got the Southside Business Association.
Yeah, that's a resident business association. Yeah.
And I do want to say that we do want to make sure that we got our folks at the table. See, Steve, that's what we're talking about. We need you to be that voice to say, I'm gonna go step out in the Regency's, Kings Lanes, over there in the Ville. Just let them know, hey, listen, this is what's going on, this is what's available. And I want y'all to be at the table.
Because if they're not at the table, how am I going to know what their needs are? And my needs aren't their needs. And that's what a lot of people fail to recognize, that, as somebody that is a trustee of the community, I'm representing. This isn't about me. This isn't about one person. This isn't about one block, one neighborhood. This is about a section of the city in cahoots with the city as a greater cohesive unit. And so that's why I think it's really critical for people to be at the table so that they know what's going on.
So I have a follow-up question to that. So even us, ear to the street, we don't know about it. Like, how will they know? Like, where is this information that they can even get it?
So part of that, and what I've been doing since I've decided to run, I've known about a lot of these organizations. All that money that comes into Flint somehow gets filtered down into these organizations somehow. So for example, this money that I'm talking about on the south side, that's all HUD money from Ben Carson when he was in Flint. He gave Flint a bunch of money. I think it was like close to $2 million. And it's the South Flint Community Redevelopment Plan. That's why I think, and don't quote me, but my understanding is like Stonegate and that area, Atherton East, that was built on a floodplain. So
Who behind the south side?
the city, the city is like proponent behind it. So I was working. I'm involved with the Choice Neighborhoods initiative that is basically surveying how folks want to see these funds be spent. So, we go, for example, to a park, and let's say they're at the park, there's 4 locations within that park that are staples within that park. And there's a list of questions that we give a rating on how we feel based on those questions in that spot. And then that kind of tells the initiative where the priorities are. But my problem with that is, and they've done, I mean, they do more advertising than the city does for, council meetings and stuff like that. They've posted flyers, they've done door-to-door flyers surrounding these targeted parks or locations. And really what the initiative is there's going to be housing developed over by Penn Galley area. And it's replacing that housing that was built on a floodplain. Everybody's getting relocated out of that area because of it should have never been built.
Not see that, but that was just kind of like the practices that we talk about. You're absolutely right. East Terrace should have never been built on that floodplain over there by Van. It was a bad deal. They're paying for it, so they got to knock all that down and relocate everybody, and so everybody's getting vouchers. And some will be able to go to new homes.
They ain't even doing right with them vouchers. That's what I'm trying to figure out what's all hooked up to what. They ain't doing right about them vouchers. You heard about some of the people getting pushed into the projects from the Regencies. And anybody with common sense know you don't move somebody from the Regencies and drop them off in the projects.
Yes.
They were, my understanding was they were given Section 8 vouchers, so if that's where, and they could go, but wherever they went, the thing is, and this is with a lot of things involved with government, there's always stipulations, right? So it's like, who's determining those stipulations?
Yeah.
Because really, those stipulations are designed to eliminate the pool. It's supposed to shrink the pool down so that you have a manageable number to deal with. But who is managing those stipulations? I don't know. I'm not in there.
Who's having the meetings? Like, when are these meetings? When are those?
The only reason why I'm talking about the vouchers because I sit on the housing commission. I know the terrorists that we gave vouchers for them. So they had that option to be able to move either to Smith Village.
Right.
And then they also are going to the new Clark County.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So you ready to say
That was what I was speaking on that. So I know I try to make sure we advocate for them to be able to get housing. I'm more on pushing them towards housing, those type of things. I know some folks that want, do it what they feel is comfortable, and I respect that too. But we want to be able to build folks up. And even at the plant housing, we have 8-9 sites. The thing is, apartment complex is temporary. You don't want to get comfortable there.
Right.
It ain't about passing it on. It's about building up. So I really want to make sure when we clarify, we always try to make sure we're pushing folks to be able to be homeowners and home ownership. So the folks in East Terrace, we have a few folks that just purchased homes, and big shout out to them.
Good. And I think encouraging home ownership in the city is valuable. I mean, that's one of the key successes to wealth is land ownership. So I firmly stand behind that, and I understand there's a lot of issues with like the land bank and entities and organizations that operate within the city that have the authority over these properties. My intention is to work with those organizations to kind of decipher through that red tape so that it can be delivered and broken down easier so that people can actually be successful at applying for these properties or whatever it may be, whether it's just land or.
I got a question about that. Listen, we trying to address that land bank. And so we shouldn't, and I feel there shouldn't be a Genesee County land bank because I feel we should have a Flint land bank, right? I think Flint should really be in control of its destiny. So when we talk about Flint properties, I think, Flint folks should have the folks opportunities at reclaiming those properties or even trying to give them back to homeowners and just keep families in a home, right?
Right.
Those are the things and elements and plans that we are looking to try to do, strategize. What do you think about that?
So Flint having its own land bank, it comes down to money. Flint doesn't have money.
It's much. Flint got money.
Flint has
money,
short-term money.
The people just ain't issuing it out as need be. it's money here because when it come in, people get it. And it's the certain people that get it and then pocketing it and doing whatever they want to do with it. It's money in. It's money here. We gotta know. Listen. We know it's money here. We born and raised in this city. We gotta make sure everybody that we push, everything that we behind, everything that we stand on, gonna be having the same agenda. Is money here.
There is a lot of that money is short-term money though, and so it's hard to tackle these massive issues that require a steady flow of income and funding to accomplish the goals that those issues require.
Now if they do right with it and give it to the city, they give it to the city. Watch what we do with it. They gotta do right with it.
So
if they
let's
did do right with any of the money,
go back to the land bank
situation.
and the Flint Land Bank, Genesee Land Bank versus the Flint Land Bank. Now, I'm no guru when it comes to this stuff, but when I look at a lot of the houses that they have in their portfolio, we've got 14,000 properties in their portfolio. They've got about 2,000 outside of the city of Flint. The amount of money it takes to demolish one home is close to $14,000-$15,000. And so everybody, even if they come up on one property, that's one property out of 100 that, or maybe not 100, maybe it's 50, but the taxes that were left on the property, those have to be paid. The cost to demolish it, that has to be paid. So when it comes to the land bank, I'll be honest with you, I don't know how they survive. Because
some of the money that's coming to Flint, that you say we got, I'm trying to tell you.
Could be, but also a lot of people don't realize that, there's other candidates out here that are attacking the land bank using a situation in another county. But it's comparing apples to oranges. It's not the same because in that county, it's their land bank. The county owns it. And again, it could be political or verbiage within contracts or whatever it is, but it's just not the same as it is here in Flint.
Why though? Why can't it operate like the other in the other counties or other cities? I call BS on that. Because if those other places can operate like that, why can't we? We are the only ones that are operating like shit.
I don't know the answers to that. I don't think we have that money. I really don't.
But here's the thing,
a lot of this money that comes in for development is by way of grants through the state. A lot of that money, which gets matched at a local level. So a lot of like that Hilton Hotel downtown, that was uptown investment. They put money up, but then so did the state, Michigan Economic Development Corporation. So that's where a lot of that money that goes downtown comes from Michigan Economic Development Corporation.
And again, if that can happen in other states and other
You're
cities
right.
and other counties, why can't it happen here? That's why I can't believe that can't happen here. I just can't, because I know that I could go. Let's say this. I decide, okay, I'm tired. Fighting this fight with Flint. I want to go somewhere and I want to do this. I can go to Detroit right now and pay $2,000 for 7 houses a piece. I can go right now and I can bid on it. They'll give me this. And the only thing they're going to tell me is I have to have it up and operational in a year. And these are big, brick, beautiful houses that all it's just little minor things.
Let me just say this. I know I know in the mindset of it's never we can't do something, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta, if it's something that we need to do, we gotta find a way to get it done. That's what it has to be so transformational about you folks that's coming on city council, you want to be able to look at it like, how do we generate revenue to be able to build funds, to create the space, right? To have the capital, to be able to buy up all these Flint properties, demolish the ones that we need to, save the ones we can, rehab some we can, do projects for other ones.
Right,
And then
right.
take the vacant lots and activate them as public spaces. Why we don't have the vision of saying that this is what we gonna do, this is the community plan, 5, 10, 15, 20-year plan that we all gonna commit to.
Mm-hmm.
And we gonna actively fundraise, we gonna get the dollars, we're gonna get the support, and we gonna bring it back like that. Why
Part of it is getting people to show up to the meetings, and that also falls back to people knowing about the meetings. So, I can't tell you how many times there's low turnout in meetings because, I have to see,
Yeah,
I see my information just by being involved. I ask to be put on email lists and make sure.
It's sporadic or is there?
Yeah, so like for the Choice Neighborhoods, initiative, they've got a schedule out. They've been.
Folks do need to attend the meetings and be involved.
I agree.
I do agree with that.
Especially if you're on the south side. It's the south
I
side
agree.
strategic planning. You need to know what they planted, exactly what they planted.
Yeah.
And be
There are a lot of
plans,
redevelopment plans. St. John's
If you ain't at the
was a
table,
redevelopment
continue. I know you-
plan. There are a lot of redevelopment plans in our life.
It's all type of money. We need to get that NAACP building some money pumped up in that section right there across from the Regencies.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
We need, that's a whole block right there, barbershop and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we can get $500,000 to go there,
To the Regencies?
to that business court right there, across the street from the Regencies.
Okay.
You know where you got the security spot, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Corey Moore got his mentor piece over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, that building needs a facelift. The NAAC building is down right on the next block.
Right.
We need to activate that whole space.
Okay.
Open up something for the young people over there.
Yeah.
But more importantly, not only do we need to,
Grandpa's over here.
So right now, they had to reschedule some of these meetings because of the weather. But we got Wyandotte Park, Thursday, July 15th from 5 to 8, meet at the pavilion next to the playground. And then July 17th, that's a Saturday, 10 to 12:30, meeting at International Academy of Flint. That's gonna talk about the South Saginaw Street neighborhood and commercial corridor right there by the Chinese joint.
What is this?
This is the Choice Neighborhoods Initiative.
July 17th.
Uh, The goal is to help the Choice Neighborhoods team prioritize how to spend 1.45 million.
Where is that one up? June 18th?
July 17th from 10 to 12:30 is at South Saginaw Street neighborhood, and commercial corridor. Y'all got airdrop.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I wish it would.
Cause yeah, we
The
get the word out.
same day from 1 to 4, Smith Village vacant lot reuse. Meeting at the corner of Root Street, East Wood Street. And then, they're gonna do the northern half of the Grand Traverse Greenway Trail. Tuesday, July 27th from 5:30 to 8:30. Meet at the corner of Kersey Street and Grand Traverse. And, a lot of people don't even know about that project.
At all.
I don't know how many people are familiar with Chemco over off of Door Highway,
Yeah.
but there used to be a train track that ran all the way through, back in that neighborhood, all the way down over by Kettering. And so that train track has just been kind of overgrown growth. They took out the tracks many, many moons ago, and it's just been, part of it's been used for dumping, and you go on that strip right between, Grand Traverse and South Saginaw Street, there's a ton of dumping. But they're gonna develop that into a trail. and that will connect, the south side to the rest of the trails and whatnot through the city, which promotes the active lifestyles and whatnot. And it gives the city, that opportunity to allow for people to safely ride their bikes.
Are they planning to keep black folks over there?
You said what?
Are they planning to keep black folks over there?
To keep them?
Yeah, are they planning to, is this development with black folks in mind? We know a lot of urban developments. A lot of urban developments. You know what I'm saying? Tulsa, Oklahoma, St. John's here in Flint, Michigan. We know about a lot of development. And so that's why we thank you for the information, because we're gonna put that out there. We're gonna get people there, because if you're on the south side, you need to know if there's development going on where you live. You need to know exactly what it is. It's shocking that they ain't went door to door. That's why we work. Because if I come in and I'm saying I'm finna do something in your area where you live, I'm gonna be door to door, letting people know, like, look,
That comes down to funding.
this was going on, this was going on.
Enough money to pay the people to go door to door.
I'm talking about the people that started, that decided, the people that sat at the table that decided, we going over here, we gonna develop this neighborhood. Them the ones that need to come in and be like, look, this is the plan that we got for your neighborhood, where you pay the state. This is the plan we have. For any development to be going on without any meetings, when you have a meeting and there ain't nobody there, the meeting should be canceled. Tell somebody to be there. We can't have no meetings till we have the people from this ward.
It should be.
That's what.
So this is the South Flint Community Plan. This was a draft done back in 2016. I believe it was adopted in 18, if I'm not mistaken. And it's all through HUD. And so I don't know all the players involved. I wasn't focused in on it. I live in the neighborhood, and I wasn't even focused on it until I didn't even know about the South Flint development plan until maybe 6 months ago. So I'm not saying, that anybody did anything. That's just the way government operates. Slow and minimal. And that's the unfortunate part. And the citizens are the ones that pay for it. I'm very, I was asked by another candidate, like, how I expect to get out in front of my voters. You got to go out to the streets. I had my incumbent tell me that Facebook is fake. But I'm sorry, but if Facebook is where I'm reaching the voters, well, it's real to me.
What do you think about your what do you really honestly think? And I want you to dig deep, because
Can we tell them who is incumbent?
Won't you tell them? Won't you tell them?
Can I do it?
So again, I may not have the same issues that everybody else has. But my issue, the person that I'm going against is Eva Worthy, ninth ward incumbent. My opinion of Eva is that she's divisive, she doesn't listen, and lacks follow through and commitment. And so those are the reasons why I decided to run, because I couldn't stand to see it anymore. One of my life mottos is ain't nothing to it but to do it. You just got to get out there and do it. And yeah, that will probably face, its hurdles, but at the end of the day, you can't start nothing unless you start it. And so I think, rolling up your sleeves and really getting into the work is really important, and not just sending an email and hoping that you get a response. Now, I'm persistent. When I ask a question, I expect an answer in a timely fashion. And so I don't want to hear, I don't know. I don't want to hear, there was issues in my neighborhood over garbage, and there was issues over a realtor putting out an eviction, and I didn't take the crap that people were throwing, like, you know, just to get me off the phone. No, this doesn't make sense. So I need you to address this and make it make sense before I get off this phone. I mean, you just have to, you really have to want to seek the answer, and if you don't know the answer, well, give me somebody that will. Because at the end of the day, we need the answer, and the community deserves that answer. So, all this filibustering and current council and, you know, people not responding, I think that's unacceptable.
It is.
You serve the community.
Let me just say this is what in my way of thinking of that too. Because I watch Eagle, you know, and my thing is this though, you can have a certain opinion about or a different perspective, right? But when you come to the table, it's like I have to go ahead and find a way to make this all come as one, right? Represent from this perspective, right? That's what even when I come to the table, you know my agenda, you know what time it is, right? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I got to make it make sense for all of us at the table, too, right?
Right.
So that's how, you know, I would expect a person in that capacity to function. I never get that way, and I get tired of folks with the clicks, right? You know what I'm saying? Case in point, even if my road dog, my homie, right? You know what I mean? If person I ride with, say for instance, if it was a decision with Eric, I know because she said that I ride with Eric.
Okay. Give some context. That's good.
You know what? I have conversations with Eric all the time about, you know, different things, right? We don't necessarily agree about everything, right?
Okay.
But the thing is, we should have an understanding when we give have a conversation about it, right? Just like Herbert Winfrey. Like, I am just dissatisfied with Herbert Winfrey. Like, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and he knows this, right? It's real brotherhood. That's my man. That's my former basketball coach. You know what I'm saying? We was cool. We probably beefed out right now because I don't know what type of decision is being made on here, right? And you know, I don't know if he's really thinking those things through, or if he's in the word of Jesus. But I think we need to be really functioning properly to saying like we got to make this make sense, right? And so it's not about a click. It's not about, hey, I'm gonna get a pat on the back from somebody else. I'm gonna get garbage picked up in my ward. Just do this for you. Nah, you know what I mean? We got to really be on point with saying like, all right, well, I agree with that, but let's fix this and let's amend this, right? Let's put this together like this. That's how you work together as a team.
Right.
That's how that stuff should be going. Everybody ain't gonna be satisfied. Everybody's not gonna get their way. Everybody's not gonna get what they want out the deal all the time, right? At the end of the day, man, we supposed to be moving forward, inch by inch, step by step. And so I said all that to say, you know, Eva, from me to you, right? You want to look at this as a standpoint of an opportunity. I'm saying when council people are elected, they're elected for a reason, and not to just be following along and tagging along. And you know, it's really people in the ninth ward that need the support and assistance. The brother was saying this the whole time. So if you ain't really about trying to make this make sense for everybody, and that's why we grilling you. Because we know you white, we know you, listen, you better represent for the black folks.
100%. They're part of the community. They're part of the community, 100%.
I need you to have Timbos and a do-rag on coming through.
He gotta be on it. He gotta be on it. Dog man, he gotta be on it.
But you wanted to know our agenda. You want to know our agenda. Our agenda.
We gotta be
Not just Bob.
Yeah, our agenda, our movement. This is the no movement right now. This is the no. No, you can't stand on our neck no more. No, we're not gonna stand by our points in our case. No, we not gonna just let you just do whatever you want to do with the money up there no more. No, we not gonna just protest if y'all don't get it right this time. No. So you heard it first. No, we not gonna just protest no more. No, it's the no move. We in the no era. Things either gonna change. They're gonna change the right way.
And it's gonna make sense for everybody involved, because we got legacies going to leave, we got children, we
got nieces and nephews. And, you know, it's our job. Everybody in the mix now, it's our job to lead this place better than how we found it.
Definitely.
So when we found it, we didn't get the
We ain't doing a good
we didn't
job.
get the gold and all the stuff that, you know, the generation before played in.
Mhm.
But you know what I'm saying? We got what we got. We trying to maintain, sustain, but build and grow and develop.
We can't drop the
So-
ball again.
That's what we have with this,
And
man.
it's important, it's important to make sure, like I said, everybody's at the table,
Mhm.
to have their voices heard so that if, you know, if your voice isn't heard, it's hard to compromise with an unheard voice. You know, so I need everybody at the table so that we can really have those discussions to figure out where those priorities are.
Right.
You know, so that we can all address all of our main priorities to progress, you know, because, you know, that's the name of my game is to progress, not fall back, not rescind, but to move forward and progress and make it better than what we left it. And so our village right now is broken and it's fragmented, not just in the ward, but in all 9 wards.
Definitely.
And I would even go as far to say even in the state.
Definitely,
You know,
definitely.
It's critical, and right now, like I said earlier, I mean, Fli is in a really dire situation that if we don't get it together, outside of this term coming up, it might not be a city council.
Mhm.
That's it, but now you're starting to see the
Yeah.
urgency.
That's
Now
real,
you're
that's real.
feeling the urgency. That's why we are, that's why,
In 5
it's
years, we might not have a city council and a mayoral race because
It may not
because it's
even
gonna be soaked up right into the Genesee County,
Mhm.
and that's gonna be our
I
voice.
don't want that.
And there's too many people in the city of
I
Flint,
don't want that at all.
that I think will become voiceless if that
All right,
happens.
let's go. But it's gonna be a lot that's gonna become voices. And then at that point, Flint is up for grabs. They're gonna do with it as they please.
Gentrification.
I think this been,
Oh, we gotta ask the question before we close out, before we leave, we gotta ask that, we gotta ask the question.
oh yeah.
Gotta ask
Go
the
for it.
question. What's the question?
Go for it.
Fire off, bro. Fire it off.
Steve,
Steve.
if
Hey,
you,
hold on, put your bulletproof vest on.
yeah, you got, all the votes is in, Steve, they say you are new Ninth Ward Council.
Mhm.
The people, and all the people are standing there, and they wanna know one thing, and one thing only is on everybody's mind.
Just one.
Steve,
Just one, Steve.
will you
Will you
sell out this city? of
sell
Flint?
out the city?
Sell out the city of Flint? I can't. My family lives in the city.
Okay. Hey.
Well, you know, people say that with ease. They say,
With ease. We got it.
Yeah. And then we'll make a backroom deal on the
This, I grew up here. I'm not from here, but I grew up here.
Where you
So
from?
I'm originally from Oxnard, California.
Oh,
So, but I grew up here.
From what, California?
Oxnard.
Where is that?
It's between LA and Santa Barbara.
Okay.
By Palm, is that by Palm?
No. The county is called Ventura. It's the county.
Oh,
Oh,
It's just
okay.
No, Emerson Park.
I got you. Yeah, when you said the county, I was right there. All right.
All his albums.
I got you.
City, yeah.
Yeah, when you said the county, I was right there. Got you.
So I moved after college and went and did some things out there, business wise, and moved back because I saw the opportunity, not just within the city, but to continue what I kind of started in college. A lot of that, so I mean, downtown Flint was a ghost town when I went to college in 2006.
Mhm.
So, and this kind of plays into the bigger plan for Flint is the idea behind developing downtown was that central location. Now, who was a part of that? That's a different story. But the idea that we went from this massive 300,000 person city down to a 100,000 person city. Now your city is just, by nature, is fragmented. So that's why, pipes on the east side were stagnant because there was no water flow to a household to flush the toilet. Or all those different infrastructure issues kind of stem from people leaving. And so when I started going to college, there was nothing to do. There was really nothing to do. And especially for a commuter college. I went to U of M Flint. You go home afterwards. Everybody that goes to U of M Flint or Mott, they go home afterwards. Then they built the residence halls. Let's figure out how to keep kids down here so that they can spend some money downtown. And that's how we're going to develop downtown. And that's kind of how, really, if you look at every university, the city is built around it. You look at Ann Arbor, all of that's built around it. And so I thought it was important that we started downtown, but now it's time to go into the other areas, north, south, east, west, and really start developing those. And even if it's on the outskirts of the downtown, to start that development process. I've been out for over 10 years. So, I was there for 4 or 5, and then I left for a few. So, it's Flint, downtown Flint, I feel has enough development that it's got a spark. It can keep progressing. Now it's time to start focusing on these other areas that have been neglected even further.
Spread it around.
And start, exactly, spreading that money around and development around. Because I look at my ward and we have the Dorp Mall. That's prime real estate.
Yeah.
It's been on the decline for many, many moons.
I used to have good times up in there.
Man, you got, it's a lot of commercial space that's being underutilized, or it's abandoned, or somebody's gonna catch it on fire, so we need that development to prevent that so that we can build those neighborhoods up. I think that's important.
So that's the question we asked, man. Every candidate that has stepped on this show, we want to put it on record. Whether or not you would sell out Flint, and because if a person do go back, you can pull from the archives and say, remember this. Remember you said this, and now you doing this. This is you. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate the time. We appreciate the information. That's definitely good information. Southside, what's it? Southside
Community
planning. We got some dates. We're gonna get that out to the city. We definitely encouraging those, especially in the 9th Ward, be a part of these meetings. It's important, man. They're developing on where you stay, where you live. So start being a part of these meetings. It does not make sense for only 4 or 5 people to be showing up. But as I said, though, for those that's in position, those powers that's holding those meetings, any common sense would say, okay, if these people not showing up, we can't hold the meeting because it don't make sense to have plans without the people that live on this land that we plan on.
Right. So
everybody make some sense out of this. And
make sure folks have access. It's important how you publicize this information, whether it's in the areas that you may be working in. Make sure folks know about it, right? Of course, especially the South Side. City websites, these organizational websites, you got the block clubs too. So there's different ways to streamline some information, get it out there. We just got to make sure folks are receptive, sitting at the table, and we can all just move as a unit, right?
Send us those meetings so we can post them.
I sent
them. Did they go through? I thought I clicked yours too.
So we're gonna post them on the page.
Okay.
So you got any last words you want to, intertwine the public with and let them know?
Right in Steve Barber, November 2nd.
Get them pins out, baby. Get them
21.
pins out. What's
I'm out
up,
there.
Rich? What's up, Rich?
See you on your porch soon.
See you on your bed. Get them pins out. Y'all gotta have a catchphrase with it though. What's up?
They can't take that from me, man.
Man, you know I really got to. You know I really got to get them pins ready.
Rich ain't got his pen.
Trying to be-
He ain't even signed up to be around this time.
Hey, man, we gotta turn the cameras off.
Hey,
Come on, Don, we gotta put one down there.
Go on, blackout.